get it.
Mbijan raganyadi.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyinji.
Okay. Kosa. Nsila ID soto.
Sa soto. Sorry. I get it.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariya. Mbare ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato ni fo bolong labe to.
56 branches mola soto Gambia jam. Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol. Nka kodo kiya bere. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta même na kodi to poto ni kodi maraw. Jannam number 1 di nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wala nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi mani domorol dir fana beteat. Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je.
Wo moyo diat.
Apelenta
ni wo ka ni lafta nyelen kendol e bina.
Yalo bu kanyi la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Abaraka.
Him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But
don't you know about Baluwo?
Baluwo? What is Baluwo?
Baluwo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluwo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluwo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baluwo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baluwo, better than sending money.
For the first time in the history of the Gambia, Gambia Printing Publishing Corporation proudly introduces the Biliomatic exercise book printing machine. The machine has the capacity to print more than 20,000 books per hour. Yes, 20,000 books per hour. It also prints magazines, newspapers, calendars, flyers, normal books and all kinds of printed documents plus items at affordable prices. With the Biliomatic printing machine, GPPC can now render high-quality and non-size restricted printing service supply across the sub-region. Rush now and partner with GPPC for all your public and private printing service needs. Print with us today and you'd be offered highly professional, reliable and efficient service delivery by our team of experts. The Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation is here to meet all demands and is reliable at all times. For more info, contact us on 437-4493 or 437-4402. GPPC is Gambian and it's yours.
Gambia Social Registry Household Data Collection Exercise. The government of the Gambia, with support from World Bank, is developing a social registry as part of its move towards an integrated social protection system in the country. Gambia Social Registry will serve as a single entry point for the various social protection programs in the Gambia and will be hosted by the National Social Protection Secretariat at the Office of the Vice President. The social registry shall comprise households' demographic and socio-economic data. This information will guide future social protection program interventions in the Gambia and facilitate rapid identification of beneficiaries for programs. It will have the capability to be linked to other databases when these databases become automated. The enumeration teams from Gambia Bureau of Statistics, GBOS, will visit, interview and register every household in your community, so don't be left out. However, inclusion in the registry does not automatically qualify one for a particular social program. Social Registry has taken consideration of the key principles for personal data protection. Therefore, your data shall be confidential and protected. In view of this, we call on all and sundry to register their households with enumerators from GBOS. This message is brought to you by the Department of Information Services under the Ministry of Information.
And welcome to the Brunch on Kerr Fatou Live. I'm Lamin Cham, and this is our weekly look at current affairs here in the Gambia. Well, this week our focus will be on education and sports because the Gambia national team have qualified for the second time to the African Nations Cup finals that will be held this time in the Ivory Coast in January. But the Gambia has to prepare technically and financially. So we will be discussing how should we go about entering our second appearance in this pinnacle stage of African football. First though, we will talk education because over the last week or so, there have been, a crossfire of opinions as to whether the Gambia university lecturers and students should move to the new Faraba Banta campus. There have been exchanges in the media from the authorities, the students, and the lecturers. Plus, the overall state of higher education in the Gambia will all be on our focus today because I have in the studio, I have Professor Pierre. He is the Minister for Higher Education in the Gambia. Well, of course, it's higher education, technical, and et cetera, but I simply should that higher education. So, Professor, welcome to the Brunch for your very first time, I'm sure.
Thank you very much, Brother Lamin. Yes, I've been here with Fatou and others, but the Brunch is the first time. In fact, it's the first time entering this studio.
You look so relaxed, but I warn you, there will be fire in the studio.
Well,
but first of all, as we always do with all cabinet ministers who come here, you've been new, of course. You only came after the 2021 elections, but you have been in the academia. We know, of course, you've been head of a department, a dean they used to call it, in a university. Or you've been a lecturer, you've been a giant in academia. But then now you are policy maker, been head of the ministry since 2021, I guess. After the, not 2022, that's it. Okay, so take us through to your personal and then professional career. Where does Professor Pierre Gomez come from?
yeah, thank you very much, Brother Lamin. Before I start, since you talk about sports and the qualification of the Scorpions, I want to use this opportunity to congratulate His Excellency the President Barrow, the Honorable Minister Bakari Baji, the President of the Football Federation and the Executive, the coach, and also the captain and the team and all the staff.
You're very familiar with whoever.
The staff and the Gambian people for this back-to-back and for the first time in the history of the Gambia going to
the African Cup
of Nations.
Twice in a row.
Twice in a row. Since independence,
we
have never had this opportunity. So it is a very great achievement. So we want to congratulate the Gambian people, and it shows that together we can do it. So I want to thank them for believing in ourselves and also pushing. Yes, and we can go and surprise the world.
Absolutely.
Small can be a small nation in size, but we are not small in terms of performance.
Exactly. We've been to the quarterfinals on our very first appearance. So the target now is semi-final.
Exactly.
And beyond. Thank you for that compliment. Yes, where does Pierre Gomez come from?
So thank you very much. I'm from originally from Banjul, Dobson Street. So grew up in London Corner and then in Budung. So went to school here, went also to Sheanta Diop University, did double major in English and French. And then later came back, went to France on the French government scholarships to Besançon to read education, and then also did double masters, one master's in comparative literature, the other one in an MPhil, Master of Philosophy, and then also having another one, a PhD, also in comparative literature, and also did my postdoctorate, my fellowship in the French system. To be a full professor, you must have what they call HDR. HDR, which means Habilitation à diriger des recherches. That's a license to supervise PhD research. You cannot be a professor if you don't have that postdoctorate, degree. So, which I did, and under the sponsorship of the French government, and the satisfaction of my former supervisor, who wanted at least for me to complete the whole circle and so on. So I finished that, and I thank God, all of them from my masters and thank you and all PhD and postdoctorate are all finished with distinction.
Absolutely.
So that's what I was able to do. So when people see me pushing, maybe they don't know. They just need to look at my academic trajectory, because I did all my results, all with distinction. So if I push for, let's say, Faraba, it has to do with all the passion that I have. All my students, they know that I have that passion for academia. And the interesting part of it, I've been in this business for 25 years. So I did not have the luxury like others who work elsewhere and then later decide to come to academia. The only thing that I've been doing was being in the classroom classroom affair. That's the only thing I know. So if you take me somewhere else, that one I cannot perform. I know. Because I don't know those things. I am not qualified to pontificate in those stuff. But when it comes to tertiary and higher education, that's the only thing I've been doing.
Good.
So yes, and I had the opportunity to go to different universities also, and I also did in China higher education management, and then also went on a study tour on key higher education institutions in the Nordic countries, Finland, Norway, and Sweden. And interestingly, I'm just returning from Harvard University.
Yes, I heard.
They invited me to take part on a ministerial leadership training, in which, in addition to the Harvard professors, they brought in former presidents, former prime ministers, and former ministers also to serve as resource persons on that training. Just arrived some days ago. And I want to seize this opportunity to thank the American Embassy and also Harvard, because I did not apply for this. I know. Because this program is on invitation. It's Harvard who will choose whoever. I see. So they chose 15 ministers throughout the world, in Africa, in Asia, and Latin America. Wow. And then so I was part of those who received that intensive training on leadership once again.
Congratulations.
And the reason why maybe they thought...
Of course, they must have through you.
So it means, I was telling somebody, but it means somebody is watching
somebody
somewhere.
Is watching you,
so,
yes, of course.
But I thank God, let's continue delivering, let's continue serving the Gambian people.
Yeah, good. Okay, and then after a long and distinguished career in academia, in 2022, you were appointed Minister for Higher Education. Yes, that's the area you know. So the president made a very good decision that everybody applauded that decision. Since you take over, let me begin by asking you, what are what they call satellite institutions under your ministry? How many are there?
Yes, we have roughly 5 main.
5 main ones.
Yes, that's a public that I'm talking about. You have we have the University of the Gambia, we have Gambia College, we have MDI, then Old Management Development Institute, we have USET, University of Applied Science and Technology, formerly
GTTI.
Called GTTI.
Okay.
And then we have the NACA, National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority.
Yeah.
So this is why these are the institutions that we have as public institutions under our purview. We also have some private, institutions, tertiary,
but that is still regulated, isn't it?
Yes. So all the TVETs centers that you see in this country, they are under my ministry.
Okay.
And under the supervision also of NACA, which is the technical arm of the ministry.
Okay.
So NACA will do the accreditation. They will verify, scrutinize, and prepare their reports and send it to the minister for approval. So to either give a license or to close or to regulate or to do whatever. So they're the one doing the technical job for us.
Wow. Good. We will come to them one by one. But first, when you came there to the ministry, what are the biggest challenges you found there? I mean, when somebody talks in the street about higher education, people will say, okay, university, access to university is difficult, maybe the quality of education in the University of the Gambia is not up to standard, this and this. And when you came as minister, after spending a lot of time there, you must have already known some of the issues. What were the biggest challenges you found in the ministry, and how did you go about addressing them?
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges was the underfunding of tertiary and higher education in this country. That tertiary education has been seen as a secondary option, that is been seen as an elitist affair. So,
so you want to say people who went up to grade 12, they don't see any need for that. They think that is a luxury or...
No, the funding.
The funding of it.
Yeah, the funding of it. That is stakeholders.
The stakeholders.
Taking higher education as a serious affair.
So you mean even the government was where successive governments were lacking behind financing it?
Yeah, but it has a history. Because you have, in those days, you have the World Bank with a Greek consultant, one George Sakharov, who came up with a report, and you have more returns in basic and secondary education than in higher education. Either way, basic and secondary education is very, very important. This is the foundation.
Exactly.
If you don't invest in basic and secondary education, you cannot get any, the good products at higher education.
Okay.
But what they fail to understand, and that's my really difference between some of those scholars and professionals. I strongly believe that education is a continuum. It's a chain walk. You cannot put a Berlin Wall after secondary education. Because who are the one teaching the basic and secondary education people? Is the post-secondary people, the tertiary and higher education. So if you don't get it right,
it will
obviously it's going to affect the basic and secondary education. But also you cannot ignore basic and secondary education because they need you need to have quality. The foundation needs to be very, very good.
So you found that there is definitely a need for adequate funding.
Yes, that's the issue, because our institutions are underfunded. So what I did was to really do a proper situational analysis and look at how higher education is funded generally in the world, the principles of its funding, and the mechanism put in place to fund higher education in the world using the West one as an example. Then now narrow it down to West Africa, looking at our countries, taking 4 countries, Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and Senegal as case studies to see how they're doing it. Then now bring it back home now in the Gambia, how it is done, what is the mechanism normally used to really fund this system, and the conclusion is the historical model that is used. So last year you requested for 1 million, and we gave it to you, and you were able to manage with 1 million. So this year, we give you the same 1 million, or maybe we add 5% or reduce 5% and allow you to manage with that. But that amount is not based on anything. Is not based on the unit cost. Unit cost is the number of students, the number of lecturers, the teaching aids, the lab equipment, the research as a support, the research infrastructure, the IT infrastructure. All that need to be costed. Then now you will be able to have the unit cost and also the global figure of what you need. From there now you prioritize. But you cannot just come up with a figure, an imaginary amount, and then now you start running. in show. What is going to happen is, I mean, Cham and my brothers and sisters out there will be very angry. You know, nothing is good. There's no quality. You know, you don't do this. You don't do that. But then, how much is given? So
now, how much your budget the last time round? The last budget.
It's not that much.
Was it not 90 something?
Yes, it's always around that, around 90 something
million.
But you will notice that part of it also goes to the satellite institutions.
Yes.
But even there, they don't get the right amount. You get the point. So we are saying.
But when you came, you already mentioned, the availability or the existence of other funding sources. Internationally, regionally, and globally. That's it. How successful were you able to attract support, collaboration?
By the way, let me just say that, in fact, the subventions that they're getting, which is not that much and which is fluctuating. So we are saying, we've already written to Minister of Finance, and I explained to National Assembly that we are saying that effective 1st of January, with the new budget, we want to abolish the subvention to the satellite institutions, all our universities and colleges, and replace that with basic salaries. Government to take care of basic salaries. Number one.
Okay. If I understand, let's go back. In the current arrangements, you or the government give them subvention.
Yes.
You want that now stop?
Yes. Because the subvention it fluctuates.
And this is the subvention that they pay themselves and do that?
Yes, that's what they use.
So you want the government to absorb them directly, salaries and everything?
Yes. And then, so because the subvention is not solving their problems. Okay, it's too small.
Okay.
So now what we are saying is we stop the subvention, let's start paying now the basic salary for the first time in the history of the Gambia, so that we pay. So when we do that, it means it's based on unit cost for the basic salaries. Then the institutions, based on the tuition fees they're going to generate, for them now to use that to do other activities and so on. So that's what we intend to do. But we are also saying, because currently they will send it to the ministry, and the ministry will now share it with the different institutions. And so we are saying the money is not for Mohas, it's not for the ministry. So it should not come to the ministry. From Accountant General, it should go straight to the universities and colleges, to the institutions. So I don't want to deal with people's money. You see, I'm not an accountant.
So you think that will enhance?
Yes, that will enhance, because you see, if it is salary, it means that now it cannot fluctuate.
Yes, it has to be basic.
And then now these universities and colleges will plan properly. Right now, next month, they don't know how much they're going to get. So it fluctuates.
Exactly. So you want them to now to be a basic.
Yes, basic. But then also when we do that, there must be it's a give and take.
That's right. That's what I'm talking.
So now it means also that they cannot be hiring left and right.
Exactly.
You need to plan.
Yes.
You need to have a proper plan, and then it is budgeted.
Yes.
So then now we will, if you want to hire, then we will check that whether this was budgeted for, and so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
But now to be hiring left and right, and later you create a situation where you cannot afford.
The budget won't cover it.
We cannot run an institution like that.
So you advise the Ministry of Finance and the government that from January, how successful you think that?
No, we've already done that, I told the National Assembly 2 days ago that this is also the best. We need to push people to do things in a very Cartesian manner, with organization and method.
Exactly.
You cannot wake up in the morning and be doing things anyhow.
Yes.
It needs to be organized.
Exactly, organized.
So, but also we need to help these satellite institutions. But in return, they too should organize themselves. So that is now coming back to the support that we are getting from other organizations. For a long time, the donors also were not.
Yeah, well, we know what the period we came from was very difficult. So,
but now, with my predecessor, he was able to push, to move from 3 to, and then have with the USET, with the Africa Center of Excellence, that led to the creation of USET, to be able to have 12 million. So dollars. That's the highest that Minister of Higher Education has ever received.
$12 million.
$12 million.
Yeah.
Now, when I came in, we pushed and we went to Washington and came here. A lot of push and pull, a lot of fight. I had many enemies, and right now I am paying the price for that. Yeah. But trying to argue for the understanding that education, higher education for that matter, should be seen as an investment. Yeah. So we now move from 12 to now $21 million.
But that's for USET alone.
No, this
for
time
generally for the
especially for the Tibet
programs. Yes.
You see, so but this is for the first time.
But this is going to be annual, or is it?
No, it's just the project. It's a project.
Project, yeah.
Yes, it's a project. The RISE project and human capital.
Okay.
With the World Bank, and it means, contrary to, as opposed to other agencies and ministries who are getting 50
I was going to
or
ask
100, whatever.
I'm trying to say that apart from that project, is there any other project your ministry?
Right now, we do not have any other project.
Okay.
Apart from one that is in the pipeline, and we are also struggling with the same.
And
that is the Millennium Challenge.
Oh yeah, MCC. Yeah,
the MCC, and I want to thank the American ambassador and her team, and also the Gambia government.
Because obviously the government must meet some criteria to be able to attract it.
Yes, and it happens that now all the experts, the Americans MCC team now have concluded that, and the Gambia government, that 2 areas of intervention are needed, and that is river transport, and also anything related to river transport, that is tourism, ecotourism is part of that, and then also education. So now, and using Tibet. Because when they came, and that's what we were able to sell to them, the Tibet agenda, to address the youth unemployment and so on. So now the battle now is maybe to close it at secondary level. I am telling people again, don't make the mistake of the past.
Like vocational training.
Education is a continuous
process.
You need to address the post-secondary. You cannot address the unemployment, the bagway syndrome, without the post-secondary aspect of it. With Tibet, we are coming up with regional Tibet centers and so on and so forth. I know you will be talking about these things very soon. So this is what we are trying to put across, and I believe the stakeholders will understand. It's not about us, because this thing will come into effect in 2-3 years' time. Okay. But there's no guarantee that we'll be here at that time. But it's our job to put the foundation. So whoever comes after us, to know that yes, there's a system in place, so that our brothers and sisters will later enjoy.
Absolutely.
So for us, what we are doing is for tomorrow.
Absolutely.
We are likely not to be the one now benefiting,
it's always
seeing the outcome of what we are talking about.
Planning is always for the future, for the benefit of.
Because this thing is in 3 years' time. For the MCC. For us to the compact aspect.
Well, but government will still be there, whether it's your government, whether it's your minister, the country will still be here. So
but those coming after us should really start on strong footing. So, and that's what we need to do to ensure that we work on the foundation.
Absolutely.
And people will later benefit from that.
Indeed. Okay, let's go a little by little. Let's go now to the university, because that's number one, let's say the biggest institution under your ministry. The University of the Gambia. I'm sure that the current things are all dominated by the move or not to move to Faraba. But there may also have been other issues, like students who said they're sponsored by government, supposedly by government, have been told that they can't continue their education with government. In this case, your ministry has not been paying their scholarships. How does that come?
Well, the University of the Gambia belongs to the Gambia government.
Yes.
So, and we employ the leadership of the university.
Yes.
To now do the job on behalf of government.
Yes.
So they cannot also work against those who employ them.
Yeah, okay.
You get the
I see the
point. So
point.
you see, sometimes people make
I
mistakes.
understand the point. Yes, I understand.
They always think that at the end of the day, this is their father's property, and you start. It's the Gambia government. It belongs to the Gambia government.
I understand. Yeah.
So it needs to be understood from that perspective. That's one. And half of the students at the University of the Gambia, as per the data, they are sponsored by the Gambia government, and 3/4 of them by my ministry, others by basic education, and then some government agencies like ports and so on, and then also by Friends of the Gambia, especially MRC Holland Foundation,
etc.
Okay. So this is what is happening. So we normally give them that support, and we normally pay. So,
but there have been issues like your ministry doesn't pay.
Yeah, no. In the past, we used to owe them close to 200 and so on, but we paid everything. Close to 200 million, and we paid everything. Yeah, but then now, when the semester starts, we need to send students to the university. Then later, the university will bill us.
I see.
When they bill us, we now do a head count to cross-check, and then now write to finance, and then accountant general pays. Last time they were giving some 4-5 months, they were giving 30 million. Now this week also they are going to receive something closer or more than that also. From
scholarships.
Yes, and what we owe them now is below 50. So
because students complain that they, in order to get into their portal or register their courses, they have to be cleared.
Yes, that's for everybody, whether you are on scholarship or not.
Yeah.
Because we now put up an online. I hope we will come back to that. We have an ERP system, okay, that helps to really now regulates and allow people to get into the system to register. Whatever you do is done online now. So if you are to register, you need to register online. But to register, you need to pay.
That's it.
You
so
see,
when your ministry delayed their payment.
No. I'm saying you need to pay if you are not on scholarship. If you are on scholarship, you need to get that letter to accounts, UTG accounts, because UTG accounts has the list of those we are sponsoring. So when you take your letter to them, they'll go into the system to see whether your name is on the list sent to them.
Yeah.
Then now they will now.
So why does that take years? It took ages.
No.
Students who've been going for.
No. That's this is different from the clearance.
Oh, okay.
We can owe UTG for, let's say, a full 1 year. But that will not stop the students from
being cleared.
Being cleared, because there's that understanding with the university that anybody who is on on Gambia government scholarship should be cleared by the ministry. Then later they will send us the bill. And then we pay.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
It's like, for instance, this week they. My colleague from basic education, she owes them some millions, and she paid. Now, this week, 2 days ago, they had a meeting. She paid Gambia College. Because they also were having issues.
I was coming
to you said now, and then also UTG, but not all. They gave an advance, and now they're going to do a verification and audit to cross-check about the balance, and then they will also do something. So that's the objective. The payment has nothing to do with the clearance. Okay, because once you are on Gambia government scholarship, you should be cleared by the university. The university belongs to the Gambia government. Then we will pay. The only thing that is, yes, we don't pay instantly like the ordinary student who is paid, whose tuition is taken care of by his family and so on. For us, it takes a whole semester or a year before we cover the whatever. So I told you, we just gave them some 4 months ago 30 million.
Okay.
And this week also they're going to receive more than 30 million. Okay. So and then they receive I think 8 million from MOPSI and so on. But for us we're giving them more than 30 million. Okay. So this is how it works.
All right. Yeah. Let's go straight to, since we are dealing with the university, I was going to go to all these institutions one by one, but since we're in university, we stayed there. Now the major issue is been Faraba. I mean, lecturers and students association heads have said that Faraba is not ready. Basic amenities like water, electricity, internet are not in place. That your government or your ministry want to rush things there, get all 7,000 students or so to that place. Transportation, you are sure that you have a cooperation or agreement with the transport service, and there will always be buses to get there. They are not assured. They simply believe that things will not work. It's going to be chaotic, over there. Why do you think, Minister, that now is the time for you to transfer classes to Faraba?
Well, thank you, Lamin, and this will give me the opportunity to clarify.
Absolutely.
And see, Gambian people are very intelligent.
There you go.
And they will never allow the cabal to confuse them. Because the way it is being
so you are saying that there's a cabal, leading this resistance to move to Faraba.
But because at the end of the day, Brother Lamin, you all know that even in mile 2,
there are cabal.
No, that even in mile 2 you cannot send prisoners there if there's no water and electricity.
Obviously, yes.
So how
even
in mile 2, you cannot send prisoners there if there's no water and electricity.
Absolutely.
So how come the people want to believe that governments will send lecturers and students to Faraba even though there's no water and electricity?
Well, they said they attempted to go there to take journalists there, but the authorities there blocked them access.
Yeah, but you see,
they think you are hiding something.
But you see, the truth shall set us free.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said Gambian people will really know the truth. You see?
So there is water and electricity.
No, we are saying. Let me just put it here. We were the first to tell the students and management of the University of the Gambia that currently in the new Faraba, because I'll come back to that, there's old Faraba and there's new Faraba.
Oh!
And I'll come back to that. And the truth will be told today and it will be clear.
Okay, so there are two dimensions in this one.
Yes, and they should tell people the truth.
Yeah.
One is we were the one who told them that currently there's no water, there's no electricity. Because, but then come the 2nd of October, there will be water and electricity. When they were told, no, we are to start on the 11th. I said, how can you start on the 11th?
11th September.
On the 11th of September.
But wasn't that not the normal start of semester?
Yeah, it was the norm.
So you can expect them.
No. It was not the norm to say that 11th September. You see, sometimes they start in September. Okay. So there was a time, even many years ago, we used to start in August. Many years ago, and then later now in September, and so on. So when I looked at their problems, because when I was leaving UTG, joining the ministry, both students and staff told me, Prof, you know the problem of UTG. So you should not be told what you should do.
Indeed, that's what I should expect.
So now my option was, your problem there, your management issues there, I don't want to deal with that. I will now focus on your problem number 1, which is
accommodation.
The space, classroom space.
Yeah, that's it.
At Faraba, yes, classroom accommodation and so on. So that was my focus. So I now set up in July. In July, a committee that I call Road to Faraba.
Okay.
In which I have, my ministry, you have also GTSC for the transportation issue, and you have UTG.
Okay.
And UTG has the highest number of representation.
Does it include lecturers and students?
They have all the representatives of all the schools affected to go to Faraba in July.
Okay.
You get the point?
All right.
And then also the registrar's office is represented. The director of student affairs is represented. I ensured that the students are represented. Both the president and the secretary general of the student union represented.
Okay.
So everybody, the facilities represented.
So one would then be surprised
And
about
even the last meeting that I chaired at the ministry, the vice chancellor was there and the chairman of the governing council was there. And that's where I clarified when the president of the student union said that they are starting lectures on the 11th. They said there's nowhere there's no university where student dictates when to start lectures. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen, yeah.
So why do we want to have that in the Gambia? Number one. Number two, I told them that you have problem now. If you start lectures now, you're going to have problems with classroom problems. Everybody knows that.
Yes.
And we cannot hide that because you have classroom space problem.
Yeah.
It's the former dean for
you
10 good
know
years.
everything.
The second largest school at the University of Gambia that I managed for 10 good years. I'm speaking from experience.
Absolutely.
So some who are coming now as students or as administrators or lecturers, I know these things before them.
Absolutely.
I'm speaking from experience. So I'm saying that I told them too that if you start now, you're going to have problem. The best solution, just delay for 2 weeks. Just for 2 weeks. Then now you start at Faraba and you will not have space problem. In fact,
so you
will have some classrooms that will be empty because you don't need them.
You don't need them.
That's what I advise them.
So you not buying time for Faraba to be fixed. That's why you insisted it should be 2nd October because
Yes, but I was honest with them. I told them.
Yeah, okay.
I was the one who told them.
Yeah, I see.
Now, and I expected people after that meeting, and I told you, and I'm to the Gambian people, Orbi and Urbi, that this started in July. Because I've heard people saying it's now Prof Gomez, it's now as if it's Prof Gomez versus Wall 11 or Prof Gomez versus the whole world.
The universe.
Yes. So when this thing started in July, I told them that you're going to have problem. If you decide to wait for 2 weeks, then all these things will be done.
I see.
So I'm not saying that there's no problem now. Even the blind could see that there are problems.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that if you wait for 2 weeks,
by 2nd October,
yes,
all the things would have been solved.
And then now the timetable will be adjusted.
Adjusted, yes.
That time that you have lost 2 weeks,
it would be accommodated.
Yes, you accommodate that, you adjust and have additional 2 weeks.
I see.
So this is basic things. And they're talking about the timetable issue,
Yes.
the contact hours.
Yes.
I'm telling you, as a former dean and a former administrator,
Yeah.
every year UTG, they adjust their timetable. Every year for the past 5 years. So how come this year people do not want that? Yes, and I will tell you the reason why some of them are.
So why do you think all this confusion and noise? Because basically what you have explained is a simple thing to understand.
Yes.
Wait for a couple of weeks.
2 weeks.
Accommodation would have been abundant. You could go to Faraba and there would be no issues.
Yes.
But they want to go now.
Now, and because what is surprising is after the meeting, I expected people to go and now disseminate this right information based on the meeting. But then there was, they decided to go for a blackout.
Or misinformation.
And yes, misinformation, because even the little that they knew, some of them said it was through us, through the communication that we were giving out. That's the time they knew about Faraba. But they did not know nobody was telling them anything. So it means that people right at the beginning had ulterior motives. And then I want to tell you, now they said they're going ahead, they will start, and then later when we are done on the 2nd, then they will move. But I can tell you today that they, from their own source, was from their own communication.
And you mean the students and lecturers who are refusing to go?
Yes, that now from the university now,
Yes.
from their own communique. You see, they are now saying the timetable is out. for example, Brikama, and 14% of the courses are currently without classrooms. Yet still, they say that the academic year has started. The lectures have started. But they have written, sharing to the university community that 14% of the lectures have started, number one. Number two, and they need to tell the Gambian people this info. Number two, for the first time in the history of UTG, they are now having lectures up to 8 p.m.
Why is that? Because of accommodation?
Because they don't have space, so they decide to squeeze it.
Classes.
Because we used to finish around 6:30 or later 7. But now, because of time, because of space problem, they now decide to bring night classes.
And you know, Faraba would have solved all this problem.
So Faraba would have solved all this. And let me tell you, Lamin, this is unprecedented. It has never happened in the history of
there are
UTG.
implications, like the students might be traveling at night.
Exactly. This is the first time it is happening. And this could have been avoided
if they had
listened to my advice.
2nd October, and then they
that's number two. Number three, even some of the courses that they said they will take place, some of them in reality they will go and then they will not have lectures because some of them are they choosing classroom that are going to be used by Gambia College. You see? Because Gambia College, they move out from their story buildings called MRT Holland story buildings that are currently under renovation. And they were informed that the Gambia College will move out and use the Bajong Koto N and Quadrangle. Those who know Gambia College will tell you.
I know the area.
So, and UTG was using also part of these classrooms.
Yeah.
So they're going to have problems with that again. And number 3 or 4, they did not tell the Gambian people that for the past 5 years, they've been going to Faraba, including last semester.
Oh, so...
including last semester, and they have exams at Faraba, and they did not tell the Gambian people. And now packaging it as if Prof Gomez is the one taking them to Faraba for the first time.
very first time.
I'm telling you, Brother Lamin.
Maybe they were going there on a smaller scale.
No, let me tell you, the entire...
And now you want the entire thing to go there?
Yes, the only people who were not going is the BPA people and the ITC people. Okay, in Kanifing.
Yeah.
But the Brikama people, they were going to Faraba. You get the point?
So you're using...
So what they're doing, they will take Gele from wherever, you know, and with all the inconveniences and so on for transportation challenges to find themselves to Brikama at the college.
Yeah.
Then from there now, UTG will transport them with to Faraba. You get the point?
Okay.
So that's what they've been doing. So and they will be having lectures because you see the Faraba, because people even thought that that's the university. Those buildings you saw,
around the road.
Around the road. You know, that was sponsored by the Venezuelan government.
Government, yes.
So that's where on the your right hand side, that's where you have the contractor.
Yeah.
These were classrooms that the contractor, the Indians, have transformed into offices and residential.
Oh, I see.
So the left-hand side, those blocks, these were classrooms and offices. So this is where they were using. You get the point? In fact, they decided to rent out those the other part to the Indians, the other part.
Yeah.
So that's every year, every semester, they go to Faraba for the past 5 years.
I see.
So now the only thing that is new, we are saying, you in addition to that old Faraba that you are using, you are now going to use these bigger spaces.
Okay.
You know, the new ones.
Yes.
And not only that, you are going to have more classrooms that you need now, because we are thinking about the future.
Yeah.
Okay, then you're going to have more offices
than
you
ever had.
That you ever had. Different opportunities, and they will come with different gadgets, because you will have some other, IT gadgets that will be there that they don't have now. So all that will be there. And then also the transportation. The students, they pay normally $60 from Carnifing, Westfield, let's say, to Brikama. They pay that amount to and fro. We are saying that with our new option, with dedicated buses, with
that are not going to take anybody but
students,
yeah, okay.
UTG
and
only.
They will be on time.
Well, on time.
They will depart on time.
Depart on time. And that one, even with that, the students are going to pay half of what they are going to paying now.
The normal ones.
So they're going to pay $30
to go to the university.
To go this time, not only Brikama, but even to Faraba. Straight to Faraba. And they will pay half of what they are currently paying.
By the normal taxes.
Yes. Because they take gele.
Jumping from one place
to another. Some are paying more than that. But then now we are saying that they were going to pay only to and fro. From anything to Faraba, they're going to pay.
Can you assure that there will be a lot of, because we know that the GATC, the student population is now into thousands now.
Yes.
And the GSTC, even at GTSC, I'm used to GPTC. Even at the best of times, they don't have enough transport for people. So how many buses would they have readily available each time departing on time for the university?
Yes,
that's another issue.
And that also needs to be clarified. I know people are
even myself, I'm wondering how thousands of people can be transported on time.
Don't worry.
Of course, they don't all go at the same time, but then
people are talking about 7,000 and whatever. It's not.
They don't all go at the same time.
They will not all go at the same time.
Yeah,
that's number one. Number two, we decided to do our homework. We requested for the early release of the timetable. So that we will have an idea.
Okay.
And now compare it with the last semester's data. Because we have the timetable, last semester's timetable. And we also have the data. Because we have an ERP system that can give us, we click the button, we get the data to know the number of students who opted to go for the morning classes. Those who opted for the afternoon classes and those who opted for the evening classes.
I see. So that you can determine.
Then you can determine
transportation.
The transportation. So how many people one bus can carry, and then now how many buses you can use in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening. After doing that homework, we knew that we have enough buses to do that. You get it? So this is what we've done. We've done that homework. And this is going to help the youths, the students, really to have a better, opportunity for them to have a better conducive environment. So this is done based on the UTG's interest and students' interest. Because this is the directive we received from His Excellency President Barrow, that he wants this project to come to a close.
Yes.
Because, Brother Lamin, this is 12 good years.
12 good years since this Faraba idea, since the first brick was put in place in Faraba.
The longest project in this country
is Faraba.
Is it fair to the Gambian people?
Yeah.
And what people do not know.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm told I should not be going into...
Okay, for example, now let's get, you are using, the campuses you are using is the campus at MDI. You using Brikama College, and you using where else? Yeah, those are it.
Yes. So by the way, the MDI team, the BPA people.
Yeah.
You see, they did not tell the Gambians that to be able to run classes and maximally, to some extent, after squeezing a lot, they have to go and hire Ndau's hall.
Wow.
You see?
Ndau's comprehensive school.
Ndau's comprehensive school, their hall. In which sometimes, especially weekends, when you have weddings and ceremonies, and my brothers and sisters Christians,
Yes.
sometimes when they have this wedding,
weddings.
ceremony, and then also now charities and etc. They use weekends.
Yes,
but Saturdays, UTG will conduct lectures. But now UTG will be asked not to go because there's a program there.
I see. And
So now,
since they don't own the place, so
and when they come on Monday, remember there was wedding there.
The place will be messed.
You get the point. Number two, they will go to Ebunjan Theatre.
I know Ebunjan.
So they will go and hire Ebunjan Theatre.
So
and that place, even the chairs, they are not meant for
studies.
So you don't have something to rely upon to write.
I see.
This ordinary chairs.
So in other words, the population of the university is such that can't think and become cannot.
As if that was not enough, they will have to go to GTMI, Gambia, multimedia
over there. To occupy class in
their hall also.
My goodness.
This is what they are, and then now you pay because it's not free.
You pay for all those things.
So this cost will cost the UTG and taxpayers millions. So we are saying,
and the chaotic environment, not conducive for learning.
Yes. So we are saying, so you can just give us 2 weeks.
And then we all go to this.
We all go to this. And then now, what they don't tell the Gambian people, that you have two categories of students. The normal students, full-time, and those we call the mature students doing part-time.
Yes.
So the part-time students, the mature students, the full-time, they do maximum 6 courses per semester. The mature students or part-time students, they do a maximum of 4 courses per semester. And I can tell you, Brother Lamin, that the maximum for a course is 3 hours. But because of space problem, UTG reduces it to 2 hours 30 minutes. Do the maths. I'm talking to Gambians.
Yeah, I know.
And Gambians are very intelligent. They will now look at the data and understand. You are to do, let's take the full-time students. 3 courses is per day is 9 hours.
Absolutely.
Some among the students, they will do only 2 days in the week. The rest of the days for the week, they don't have lectures. And they have 6 courses. They will just choose 2 days. Each day they will do 3 courses, and they are done. They cannot do more than 6. You get the point?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then now, you have another category of students among the full-timers who will say, I will do 3 days. Each day, I will take 2 courses. You get the point? And remember, I said maximum is 3 hours per course. Yeah. But currently, they are doing 2 hours, 30 minutes.
Wow.
You get the point?
Losing, because of space.
Yeah. So now, if you do 2 courses per week, it means maximum is 3 days. 3 days in the week. The other days you don't go to school. So when they tell you 7,000 whatever, this is the data I'm telling you. Now, those talking about part-timers, and then also who are what they call mature students, they are to do only per semester 4 courses. And then during the summer they do the other 2. That's what the rule says.
Exactly.
They need to tell the Gambian people that. So now, remember, if you are to do 4 courses, it means that the whole week you are to come to UTG only, for your courses, only 2 days. If you are to take 2 courses per day. You get the point?
I see the point, yes.
So now, the bosses that they are talking about, in fact, by the way, you see, GTSC are booking us, asking us to pay because they know that sometimes
they have scheduled.
Sometimes their bosses are likely to go half empty.
They've already scheduled, and you haven't started using.
So now, if the buses are not full,
Yeah.
we'll have to pay.
You have to pay, of course.
So for them, they just look at the food.
Right, the food. Yeah, they look at the capacity.
The capacity.
Yeah. And
So, but you and I'm telling people, it will come a time when some of the buses will not be full.
Yeah.
But we will have to pay for it.
Yeah, because
some of the students will not have lectures during that day.
So the bus will not even be full.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
You see?
So it's not going to be as chaotic as everybody thought it would be.
It peaked. When you look at the data.
With planning, there will be enough for the amount of people moving in and out.
The peak is always in the morning.
I accept it.
You get it? But after that, you will see most of the students and some lecturers. They don't want. There are two periods. In the day they don't want.
Which is.
Sometimes they are forced to do it.
Which
it's
are
early morning class,
8
o'clock class,
and late evening.
And then late evening.
Yeah.
Anything that goes beyond 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yes. So the ideal time they always want between 11 and 3 o'clock.
Those are the classes they want.
Yes, 11 and 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So that's the problem they normally have also is, with especially now is sometimes. Because they don't want the early morning and then also the evening.
The late evening.
Sometimes they themselves will change and put it what I call prime time.
Prime time, yes.
And you do it knowing very well you don't have space. And obviously later now what is going to happen is you conduct your lectures under a tree and so on and so forth. And the next thing is people will take pictures.
And said, look
you see, the government is not doing anything. This government is not doing anything. So in actual fact, this is the issue. So really, we are saying Faraba we will not be ready 100%.
Yeah.
That one is the minister who is saying it. Yeah. However, by the 2nd of October, God willing, what will be available will be far better than what they have now.
In Kanifing and other.
Yes. So that's why we are saying that let them by that time they can now utilize this space. And for your info and that of the Gambian public, this phase, lot 1, is ending in the coming days. That is on the 30th of this month.
Lot 1 means classrooms and.
Yes, this block, this school of lot 1 concerns School of Business and Public Administration, School of Arts and Sciences, School of Education, School of ITC, and the library. This block, it cannot be extended. Contract ends with the donors.
I see.
By the way, the IDB is in town. They had to summon my peers.
Okay.
Yesterday, that they are really worried. Because they've heard the noise. Because they spend millions of dollars at Faraba, and and they're spending millions also in other projects. And they've come for inspection, and they've heard people are saying that they are not going to Faraba. Why did the Gambian government and Gambian people identify Faraba?
Wow, that's another thing.
So, but we assured them. Because they are also having, you see, you all know that the Banjul will be the capital of the Islamic Ummah very soon.
Yes.
And we have to defend the image of this country.
Absolutely.
And we need more projects to come. So it's not only Faraba.
So basically all this unnecessary noise, in fact, is been counterproductive.
Yes, because yesterday the IDB officer who is in town with his team, that's had to now request for explanation what is going on. Is the Gambia changing their mind to look for another campus elsewhere? And if that's the case, why did they identify
millions have been
millions? By the way, Gambia government is going to spend at Faraba alone nothing less than $150 million.
Service that.
Once everything is done.
My goodness.
So we need to be very careful.
So there's no two ways about it.
And the other thing also, brother Lamin and the rest of the Gambian people, and I'm one Gambians to listen to me very carefully. Whether they know it or not, today I'm giving it to you. No, I'm not told to just to restrain a little bit myself. But let me just say that anytime Faraba is not delivered, where any Gambian should understand that he is paying for that
for that day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day there a delay.
The Gambian is paying.
The Gambian people are paying. So, and this is millions.
Absolutely.
Millions. Because now you will have to extend the contract of the Indian contractor. Also the Tunisians, the consultants,
yes,
and other whatever.
And
so because they will come with what they call claims and escalations.
And the facilities they are already renting and canopying also will go on.
Exactly, and you will be spending more on and what people need to understand, this taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
So for me, being a minister, I am here to take decisions on behalf of the Gambian people.
Okay.
I need to defend their interests. I should not say that it's not my father who is paying, so let's allow them to continue.
Well, basically, with what you have
it's not fair to the Gambian people.
With what you have highlighted, it makes all the more reason and sense for the university to go to. In terms of saving money and organizing.
$8 million has been to be spent as extra.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Extra.
That's if we don't go there.
Extra for on this Faraba alone. Is it fair?
No, it's not.
At the same time, some of our brothers and sisters would have loved to have better facilities when they go to our hospitals.
Absolutely.
So that money will be now taken to pay for all this extra. And this extra is as a result of the extension, endless extension. We receive letters from the donors, Islamic Development Bank for that matter, raising their quote and unquote serious concerns with the endless extension.
Indeed, there has to be a.
That's what this is not my words.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, there has to be an.
I received that letter.
Yeah, that's how. So was it a problem? I mean, like you said, one donor might have highlighted. Was it a problem? There have never been over the last 12 years since the project started issues like, Faraba might be not a good location for university.
Well,
that has never been the
case. Why now? I'm not the one who chose Faraba.
Yeah.
So I came as minister, and it's part of my mandate.
Yeah. It was a government. Previous government decided that.
For me, I should have thought that people. And it will be their right to say, no, Prof, you are not doing it the right way, you are too slow, and so on. You people are not delivering. That's what I would have expected.
That would have worried you, but
now people telling me that, you are too speed. Too speed. So I find it difficult, man.
Absolutely, yeah. I can see your frustration. Here is the complex that we all built since 12 years ago. Here is a complex which can solve all our problems, save us money, save us all kind of hassles. And we have spent hundreds of millions there, and the government and the people have to pay for this. Yet you said we cannot go there to use it.
Please. That's your frustration. Now others are saying, what they saying that why Prof is pushing this, and also government in general is because they want to score political gains.
Political.
You see, we are not interested in that. By the way, we are not inaugurating it now. President is not interested in inaugurating it now.
In fact,
we will wait.
In fact, the president may not even take credit for that.
No, the president is saying, what I want is the UTG to have a better working condition, learning environment.
And save money.
Then later, when everything is done,
Yeah.
maybe in November, then now, because there are pending issues
there.
Because, for instance, the lab equipment, they are yet to arrive.
Okay.
So those ones, we are saying that move your lab equipment that exists in Brikama, because the one that Mohas bought for UTG and the one that UTG bought for themselves, when I was DBC academic, so all put together, move them to Faraba, use that, and waiting for the arrival in October and then you for the new ones to be done. Then in November maybe, at that time when everything is fixed, then that's the time now we will have a formal inauguration.
Fantastic.
But right now is to give them a better conducive environment. See, we're done with Ndeman Tibet Center in Foni. But we are not. I did not even go there. They had their orientation.
As well.
Yes, they had their orientation, and over 100 students are there, and they are starting their lectures on the 25th. So But they did it on their own. Government did not go to say, here we are taking credit or whatever and so on. Because we will do that later at the appropriate time when we will now do a formal inauguration and whatever and so on. For the time being, we want to give them the opportunity. And we are giving them, all of them, full scholarships, you know, to get these skills, whatever.
So at this Tibet College, you have one in Kanilai and in Buea.
Yes,
but those are too close. They are all in the Fonges.
Yeah, but these were, you know, I found them
you
there.
Found them there?
So I found them, but they were not ready. They were not complete.
I see.
It's the same like Faraba.
I see. No, what I'm trying to say is that, okay, I mean, they are, but the thing is, they are too close. One would have to one Tibet school be in Buam, the other one in Basse, but them are not
Yes. We have one in Basse, you know, so we are trying also to see how to expand that. We have one in Matsakonko, and we are also building 2 in Sierra. North, we started the fencing with MRC Holland. Then we're going to build one in Sapo on agribusiness, purely on agribusiness. And then also we plan to build one in Gunjur, and that one on fisheries and so on. But coming back to the UTG, for them, Faraba Banta, God willing, on the 2nd, there will be electricity, there will be water. But before that, we're planning, God willing, if possible, on Friday 29th, we'll invite the media. I'm using this opportunity to invite your media and also all the media houses in this country to come. We take them on a conducted tour. The place will not be ready 100%, but for them to serve as judges to see whether there's electricity or water or not, whether there's water or not, or internet. But internet, we're saying that one is UTG. Management should provide that one. Because it's Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi you can always put an antenna.
All the antennas are there, and that should not take 1 week.
That should be one day.
To have Wi-Fi. So that one is done. So for them to see, and we'll give a press conference from Faraba. We don't want to do it from Mohas when people don't see. Seeing is believing. And so that we don't cheat the Gambian people. We need to defend national interests. And I understand, you know, this is not new. I told my students, I taught them, I reminded of what Small did for this country, despite his sacrifice. Despite the ultimate sacrifice, his own lieutenants betrayed him.
That's true.
You see, I said Edward Francis Small. So we know, when we visit the history, and we knew that attacking this issue, the cabal will come back, and they will react. And
but I can
we will be able to. For us, we will not compromise.
Absolutely.
We will not flip flop, because flip flopping is not part of our culture. Absolutely. It's not part of our DNA. The moment we believe that what we are doing is for national interest, we will not waver. And let people not think that because of ministerial positions, we will bow. Prof, governments will never bow. That's the bottom line.
Finally, Professor, I mean, your points are clear, but there has been a little more impressive news from the university. I'm sure that, well, this is the taken care of and addressed at the governing council level, and that is this, well, what some people would call great sex exchange. Of course, the university had said the investigation never saw that there was an exchange of sex, etc., for money, etc. But it has been handled. People still are unhappy about the outcome, because then some people were singled out for punishment, even named, whereas the majority of people who got sanctioned have not been named. How at your ministry did you react, or perhaps so do you see the outcome of the investigation?
Yeah, when it happened, so by the way, the university started, that was in January, so when we got wind of it, so we told them that we want them to do due diligence, and whoever is found wanting, let that person face the full face of force of the law, and so that the integrity and the sanctity of the university is not compromised. You see, if you want to bring down a whole country, attack their academic institutions. Because it means all those who will be coming out from that, they are
would
fake.
be stained, yeah.
Because since the university itself is mediocre, the products of that university are mediocre. So that's the danger.
That's the perception that will come from.
So that's why one has to be very careful.
So the investigation.
So now what they did was they found later now they set up a committee, and the committee came up with a report. It took time, and then now it went to council. Council now decided to set up a subcommittee. That is council, the University Governing Council, set up a subcommittee to look into the matter and re-interview again some of those people who were found wanting by the investigative panel, and then also to cross-check. So they came to the conclusion in support of what was done to say that 4 staff
should be sacked.
Should be sacked, dismissed. One with
15 years.
And banned for 15 years because of the gravity of what he has done.
What he's supposed to have
then, so together with the lecturer, so there were two lecturers, senior lecturers who are found wanting,
but they were not named. They were not named. In one particular case, one was named.
Yes.
But these people were not named.
Yes. So
Why didn't they name them?
Well, that's also.
How many people found that to be discriminated?
Yes, but that's the two.
You don't know them yourself. You don't know them.
No, I know them. I know them.
But you cannot.
I cannot name them here.
Okay.
But two senior lecturers and 2 admin officers,
Staff.
1 faculty officer, 1 IT director.
But so, you know it was not proper to name others and not name.
Yes, that one I would not have advised them to do. But this is one of the issues. You see, that's why for me I always have issues with the way we do things. Due diligence is very, very important. You see, now, even what is being done, now people are saying, why this, why that?
Yeah.
So these are some of the things could be avoided.
Yeah.
You see?
So really
you see, when you are doing things, I'm not saying that's what they did.
Yeah.
Okay, but emotions should be
put aside. Emotions and
Let's look at
excitement.
national interest.
Yeah, that's right.
See, it's the same thing with the Faraba. People looking, I'm going to because I'm having this thing, I'm doing part-time job in one university here, I'm doing a research, I'm doing another work somewhere here in Serekunda and Banjul. So going to Brikama doesn't favor me, so therefore we should, going to Faraba doesn't favor, so therefore we should not go. So this is some of the issues. So here too, you might have an issue, maybe somebody is closer to you, is found wanting, but he is found wanting.
Absolutely.
The law is the law. So
Professor,
these are the issues. So they have these 4, and then you also have 60 students and 27 females and 33 males.
Yeah.
So the issue of sex, whatever, is not.
But that leaves people still.
Yeah, but I've told you, you have 33. You have more male students than female who were found wanting. So that's also the issue.
You know what I'm trying to say? I mean, university authorities told us that there was no evidence from the witnesses that sex or money ever changed hands for grade alteration. So we asked them, then what was the motive then?
Yeah.
For somebody to alter somebody's grades, when it's not for money and it's not for anything, what is the motive? And they said, well, they simply know each other.
Well, that's why it is also not good to play with, the institution. You see, the issue is, even with the report now, people are asking questions.
Yes.
That's why wherever you are, ensure that you give your best. With integrity, and don't compromise, don't waver, do what the law says. Then you go to bed having a sound sleep. See, so national interest is paramount. So this is, for me, this is what I've been saying. It's very sad, but I urge people not to go for shortcut. Both lecturers and students. Shortcut can come back one day to haunt you.
Yeah, because obviously you have people who are, okay, they have taken measures, but people have been discriminated. One has been named, the other is not named, and then the motive is still not clear because the allegation of sex has been rejected. But you wonder why somebody will alter somebody's grade. What the motive is, just because they know each other. Help me, Professor.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody will.
Well,
but anyway, Professor, I know we can take 3 hours, we won't exhaust, because I wanted to talk about USAC, for example, is very important, how the GTT have been transformed to the University for Science, and then, these Tibet institutions, I wanted us to dilate on it, but time is always now. But now I promise you'll be a regular on the brunch, so that we
for
can
me,
deal with-
anytime the media, I know somebody called me, I said, if you want now, he said, no. For me, anytime the media wants clarification,
that's what
I'm always ready.
That's what
because the truth
will
today should be the truth tomorrow.
Exactly.
There's nothing to plan because you have the truth.
Exactly.
So why do you have to wait for tomorrow? Anytime people need the info regarding my sector.
Absolutely.
When it comes to other sectors, that one is not under my domain. But anytime that has things are related to my domain and people need clarification, they will do. I will do that. But then, if it concerns the satellite institutions, I would prefer you also engage the satellite institutions, because we've also told all the satellite institutions that they should not shy away from the media.
Absolutely.
That it is part of their responsibility to come out and clarify.
Absolutely.
Anybody any institution that has issues, the media wants info, you need to come out. The ministry should not be the one coming to clarify on your behalf. You have communication officers, you are specialists, you are paid to do a job. Come out and explain.
And promptly too.
Yes, and promptly. And it's not good for us to reach crisis level and the ministry to come and be clarifying and so on and so forth. Sometimes we are forced to do that.
Absolutely.
But this is not our job to be doing that. If it is things that are at policy level, at ministry, then yes, the ministry, but at their level, they need to come out to clarify. Absolutely. You will not die if it is the truth. Say the truth.
Absolutely.
And the truth shall set you free.
It is a tradition. They would say, well, you need to write to the permanent secretary. We don't, even the information, even the access to information bill is passed. You still have problems with public officials talking to the press. But Professor, we have to end here.
Yes.
Thank
you very much for your
I know you are the one who deserves all the thanks and gratitude.
A pleasant weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being on the brunch.
Thank
we will talk sports
good work.
when we come back. Thank you, Professor.
Thanks.
Thank you, Goro.
We live in a day and age where technology is creating a world without borders, filled with unlimited potential to improve the lives of the people around us. Innovarex Global Health ushers in a new way of leveling the playing field with increased access to quality healthcare services delivered at your doorstep. Our qualified professionals are equipped with state-of-the-art point-of-care testing technology to conduct tests such as kidney function, liver function, electrolyte tests, body composition, hemoglobin, A1C, and many more services with the highest efficiency in delivering results. The addition to our flagship Wellness on Wheels, more fondly known as WOW Delivery Service, brings the entire clinical experience full circle. IGH has remained committed to creating the future of healthcare delivery. Gone are the days of sending loved ones outside the country for basic medical services. Innovarex Global Health offers a new peace of mind and takes pride in delivering the quality of care we all deserve.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Back to the brunch after having that marathon interview on the University of the Gambia matters and other educational matters with the Minister for Higher Education, Pierre, that is Professor Pierre Gomez. Now, like I promised at the beginning of the program, we are talking sports because on the 10th September, the Gambia made history again by qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations finals, this time to be held in the Ivory Coast in January. It's the second time Gambia is reaching this pinnacle of African football successively, that is, following each other. A remarkable achievement that, to the best of standards, really is unprecedented in the history of the country. And the maiden appearance, the Gambia made it to the quarterfinals, only losing to host Cameroon. This time round, the draw is not yet made, but there is a lot of enthusiasm and excitement. So we bring the countdown here because we know we must prepare, technically and financially. There are still loose heads, or let's say loose ends to fix as far as the last one was concerned. So as we enter into another preparatory stage, we want to start the countdown here. So I drag in the studio Keba Masane Sise, former international Gambia goalkeeper and technical director of the Gambia Football Federation now. Mr. Sise, welcome.
Thank you.
And with me is coach Musa Sise, the president of the Sports Journalists Association. Musa, welcome.
Thank you very much, John.
So let's go back to the veterans. Keba, really, when you saw the boys qualify from 2021 and now, a former international, you definitely must be very, very happy, but first jealous that you couldn't do it in your time. But then, of course, what you may have planned technically have come to bear fruit. What's your reaction this time around?
Thank you very much, Lamin. As you rightly said, I was really jealous but very proud when we made it to the AFCON finals. And this is the roadmap that I have been preparing when I was the technical director. And it is the right time that we are there shortly. As I said, when I was technical director, we had good players, but that we needed some element to be input, such as the high level of football, and that we can only acquire when we have enough transfers in the high leagues, in the top leagues. And as you can see, it is only when we started to have transfers in these top leagues that we are able to move forward. And if we had had it at my time, we would have been there.
Absolutely.
but opportunities change. And I'm very proud that we are there, and we are there back to back. But we have to be cautious this time when we are there, because when first time we were underdogs, but now we are potential winners.
Yes.
So we would be on the target of all coaches. So this is my first introductory remark, and going forward, I hope the technical preparation will be on the way on the side of the technical team, and the administrative and the finance aspect will also be top tier. But as we go along the discussion, I might have some more input.
I still want to keep you there. You must have followed the group, the progress of the group. We are in a group that really went to the wire. Nothing was decided until the last match. I don't know whether you watched our game against Congo. I did, and at some point I let me confess, I've already given up that we eventually were going to be knocked out when we were 2-0 down at first half. At the first half, I watched the first half, the beginning. I thought the Congolese were all of us. We were just defending, but then dramatically, we came back and leveled, the score, which was enough for us to go through. Did you expect, after watching that match, we would have been there?
You were right to be very scared.
Yeah.
I was scared too. Not because we were too down, but we were too down against a very good coach, Paul Pot.
Who was,
I have worked with Paul Pot for about 2 years, and I call him scientist. He is a very good coach. He's a top level good coach.
Why do you think he lost his science on that day?
This was on. This is because our players were much more determined.
Yes.
And we, at the last minute, we saw the weakness of the Congo side, because they were very poor at crosses. So when we started to apply the crosses, the goalkeeper was not coming out. The defenders were on their back foot. They couldn't, challenge our players. And that is how we got to. And that was the last minute that we started tactically to make positive attacks.
From the beginning, it was just...
From the beginning, we could even complete 5 passes.
I tell you.
And it was just terrible. That's why all of us were scared. But, the boys were determined. We have very good, determined players in our squad. They were determined to go forward. In the first place, we should not have gone down the wire. We were on top of all the teams right across. But because of, the Gambian mentality, we were too confident. We thought we could just make it. We were at the quarterfinals, at the last AFCON. These teams didn't reach there. We could just, flush them out. And then we were not very serious at the beginning.
But doesn't that? there was a debate as to the approach of our coach. He's been criticized for being notorious with his defensive strategies. Even where offensive strategy might have been the best option. But then of course you always have results, and it's difficult to argue with a system that works.
Exactly, this is what I'm saying. This is a coach who is very lucky. He's got the right players at the right time. Sang Long could have done it if he had got his players. Paul Pot could have done it if he got. But this is the coach that is lucky. So we have to give him the credit. But the fact that he has these players, he has to play a defensive setup, because these are the set of players that he has. If he has more offensive players, he would be more offensive. But he has more defensive players, and he thought, keeping a solid defense and not conceding is better than going all offensive and then concede, and then you will recover. So technically, he was right with what he was doing. Only that he didn't get what he wanted at the initial stage. So I don't blame him for playing too much of defense, because I'm a goalkeeper and I would like to have I would like to have a good defense all the time. So for that matter, I give him the benefit of the doubt. But I would also encourage him to look for more offensive players and to apply more offensive strategy. Because when you come to the preliminary, the qualification rounds, it's different. It's one of. But when it comes to the competition, it is different. That is where coaches beat each other.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is where players, outplay their opponents as well. Because there it's not only technical, because technically we are all the same. We are all able to pass, we are all able to shoot. But the tactical aspect comes into play. And the fitness comes into play. The endurance comes into play. And all
And
that you
good
have
judgment.
to build, and then you have to build that.
Good technical judgment.
You have to build that up before the competition. So this is my take.
On your part, your specialty, goalkeeping side, how has he fared with that? You know, we had Modu Job, who's now basically put back to second choice now. Babukar has been there since the tournament last year. There was one he tried. I think no, that's one with a nickname from Bakau. He tried before. So we have Sar. So how in your specialty been goalkeeping? You think?
I think our first.
What are the prospects in that?
As our first choice goalkeeper, I think he's good. He's confident. He has the height, and he has a good judgment, and he reads the game. You know, goalkeepers. The only problem with goalkeeping is that when you make an error, it's a goal. And how many errors does our players make in the game? And you cover them.
I see the
point. So that's why sometimes.
So their errors are far more.
They are far more clear and very expensive. You know,
expensive.
But that's why as a goalkeeper, you have to, as I said, keep a good defense and watch the attack each time it comes. And he is doing that very fine. I think Job too is a very good goalkeeper. In fact, he is not only a very good goalkeeper, but he is very lucky. He is a very lucky goalkeeper. You know, we had a goalkeeper like that who was from Sweden. I forgot his name again. Musa Bajaha. Yeah, whenever he plays, we win. Whenever he doesn't play, we lose. And he was not the best goalkeeper.
Very interesting. Okay, Musa. So let's talk about the achievement. You know, twice going to the Cup of Nations from nowhere in a row, even for nothing. That's a tremendous achievement. But now, like I said, preparations has to start now. What would you say should be our priority now? The stakeholders, that is government, private sector, Gambia Football Federation.
Yeah, I know, Cham. I'm just going to go back to, having qualified back-to-back. Keva mentioned when he was technical director. And others were before him as technical director acting just to make sure that we come this far. And of course, Keva is right to suggest that he was jealous but still happy, because every single Gambian veteran wanted to make it during his time to take us to the holy grail of African football, but it never materializes. We have so many players, so many good individual players who had gone through but missed this whole thing, missed this great party of African football. Why not? And for all those people we've mentioned, we talked about this thing quite often, that all those people who had been there before were just doing this thing for the boys, just trying to pave the path so that they can have a smooth landing, and with everything falling in place in time with the type of players that were needed. Yes, we can attest that we used to have very good individual players. Some would even argue that you had a better team than the players we have right now. Veterans would suggest that, because individually this player was better than this player was better in this position, you name it. I think that's the nostalgic bit about some of us who saw what was in Keva's days, Sababukar Sahos, Laos, all these great players we used to have. But here we are. That's history right now. Whatever we do, we must commend what is happening right now, what we're going through as people who love, football to the core. You talked about what should be done, what is happening right now. We cannot jump. And I think the authorities.
We have qualified.
Yes,
so
we have. We
have to have
you and I.
Ideas.
Yes, we have opinions and we have ideas. I know next week probably we will be able to really, hear from all the stakeholders, that is, you mentioned, from the ministry, football house, of course, to set the ball rolling. Of course, they might be too slow for some of us. That's people's opinion. But they have a job to do, I want to believe.
And this is January.
And January 13th, and they're counting. But that's governmental issues for you. It's not as you and I can just get up and do things. But I believe, because I've been talking to the stakeholders, that next week most definitely, I know they'll be meeting midweek, to put everything together. And then that's when they will come out to the public to tell them this is what we intend to do and how we want to go about it. Most definitely, then the individual committee stakeholders would come together and start to run away with the baton.
What would you love to have seen on the ground for now? What do you want to put? Last time they had a National Coordination Committee, NCC.
Yes.
Which could not raise money. The government has to come last minute.
Of course, there is money.
Well, that was very insignificant.
Of course,
government has to cough up 90 million on the eve
money.
of the flight to Cameroon.
Yeah, there is money. All the efforts that we're doing was to organize and raise money, and of course, money was raised. Yes, it might not be ideal because that's just the state of the country. If people you're looking forward to get your money don't have money to give, what do you do?
Come back to government.
The onus falls on government, and it's government responsibility to take care of our national team. But of course, we cannot take or negate the presence and contributions of parastatals or individual businesses that tend to support sports around the world, and that's where we're failing as a nation. And this is a call, and I wish everybody, every individual business, of course, big institutions in the Gambia, do look up and then, you know what, I need to get involved. I need to be involved in this big party, because it's a huge investment. It's a good return. So it doesn't just matter who we are or because Musashi is here talking about these things. No, just look at what it means to you and what it means to the country. And that's why I want to believe that this time around, if you look at our maiden appearance and of course the formation of the NCC and of course all the committees, it was a learning curve because we never had anything like that before.
Yeah.
So I want to believe that the NCC was quite a venture which we all learned from, we all realized.
There were very glaring mistakes. For example, the team got almost stranded due to poor arrangement of transport.
I think things happen. I don't want to call it a glaring mistake. These are things that, Cham, I want to believe that, even if you are asked to work on that and then you are failed in a way, what do you do? These are simple things that we need to be honest about. Unfortunately, things happen and we have to face it. With all the noise that was happening, that was coming out. But people need to understand that that is one huge blemish that the NCC had to take. But it was in design. It was in design.
Couldn't have been avoided.
Yeah, but no. It couldn't have been. I've been a traveler. I know that every week, every day, in and out, travels. Airplanes are cancelled.
Yeah, but but then you plan with proper planning. You don't get. It got so bad that some of the players have to find their own way.
You don't plan for a cancelled airline. You don't plan for that. These things happen, we have to be honest about it. It could happen for natural causes. Weather here, technical. Anything can happen. That's not within your hands. But it happened, and we have to deal with it, and we have to take ownership of it. As the NCC and of course the logistics committee that were responsible. But that's the lessons. We hope and pray that that doesn't happen this time around, because of course I'm confident that airlines would have to be hired to be flying the boys.
It's Ivory Coast now.
Ivory Coast. Wherever the training camp is going to be. I don't know until next week. We will probably know that. And of course, how do we fly everybody to Ivory Coast? Whether it's the players, management, the team, whether it's going to be the fans and the press and media. We have to find out all these things. I know there's a lot of things happening, but probably everything will come to fruition next week when I think the stakeholders happen to put their heads together and of course identify the committee's members who needs to work on this thing.
Yeah, let's go back to the qualifiers. Like I said, we had Congo, South Sudan. What was the other team again?
We have Congo, South Sudan, and of course Mali.
Yeah, Mali in that same thing. And our final match went down to the wire. We came to a point where it was between us and Congo for the second place available. Mali, meanwhile, had a long distance between us and them. But watching what happened between us and Congo, or on the whole tournament, do you think that the lack of stadium factor could have mad or disturbed or delayed our prospects of qualifying even before the last match in Morocco? For example, if we had the privilege or the opportunity that, to be playing at home, would that have made any difference?
Let's look at it this way. The stadium situation is not just a Gambian thing. It almost affects, a third of the entire continent.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We have to deal with it. Depending on who you talk to or who you want to represent in this whole thing, fans would always want to see their players play in front of them. And of course, that's the beauty. And of course, the support. But, excuse me, you also have to also understand that this is something that players have to learn to manage and adopt in terms of what do they get from their fans. Is it the pure support, the desire to be behind your team and support them fully, right down to the wire? You question the players, do they get that? No, they don't. Do you think that the players would like to be playing at home sometimes? Yes, sometimes no. So it is a dilemma. Because of our desire, because of the way we go about dealing with our national teams. Yes, they are our national teams. We are happy when they play away, but we want to see that when they play away and when they play at home and win, that's when we want to realize that it is or they are our team. But most of the time, when you ask any of these players privately, they will tell you, you know what, it's less pressure playing away. Less pressure playing away, and they get the results done. So when you come down here, there's endless distractions. And sometimes they don't want that.
But I cannot change the fact that they belong to Gambia and they should be playing on our soil.
Absolutely.
You want to come in there, Kerr?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to come in on this issue of home and away. Well, about the stadium, as you know, I was the technical director for quite a long time. In fact, I had the most difficult task as a technical director because I was responsible for all the national teams, including women football. But I knew and I had raised the alarm that our stadium was not in a good state and it could be banned, because I have attended a lot of meetings with FIFA and CAF, and they were concerned about the state of stadia in different countries. But at that time, nobody was listening until it came to this. But as Musa has alluded to, the problem of playing, the issue of playing at home is of great advantage, not only to the spectators but to the players.
Yes.
Because if we had played our 3 matches at home, it could have been 9 points straight away.
Yeah.
And that is what helped Mali. Because they capitalize on their home matches. Absolutely. And then outside, when you go away, you just play a defensive tactic, get whatever you want, a draw, fine, and don't lose. And then you are comfortable. So the issue of playing at home is very, very important. And it has affected our players somehow. It has. So I think, I don't know when we are going to fix it. Because
the World Cup qualifies at the corner in November.
Yeah, but even there, we might not be able to use our stadium.
Not in November anyway.
No, this is our problem, and that might affect
and that's a bigger.
Because now Gambia is not a small team; it's a big team. They are
and that's 10 matches.
Yeah,
10 matches. 5 should be home, 5 should be away.
I think it is very sad that we are not able to get our players play at home. It's really sad. But as Musa said, there's nothing we can do at the moment. There are promises of building a new stadium. It was promised during the time of Yahya Jammeh. We identified Yundum, that garden.
Yes.
And it was about 90 million at that time. State of the art and everything. But now it has been divided into different blocks.
Government said it should be a hospital.
You see. No,
there are still people who believe it would have been better utilized as
this is a problem. But I think in terms of preparation, the committee, as the National Coordinating Committee, or whatever they call it, should compose of experienced people, people who know how to plan for teams to move. Because sometimes airlines, as Musa alluded to, because when you book for your tickets to the competition, you don't know how far you go on the competition.
Yes.
Sometimes you go halfway and then you need to change. Yes. Sometimes you go beyond your bookings. So there is the problem, because at that time airlines are saturated, they are coming in and out.
Yes.
So a question of airline, we cannot avoid it, but we can minimize
it.
We can minimize it as much as possible so that it doesn't happen by having a foresight. Looking at our team, looking at our preparation, how far we think we are going, and then we try to coordinate with the airlines, because it's possible. Ivory Coast is not far, but it might be very difficult to go to Ivory Coast from Gambia.
Yes, that's always the problem.
It's always the problem. Maybe you have to go to Dakar, or maybe you have to go to Mali.
In fact, presently, I think the
but
only
the best thing is
to go to Lome.
It's to hire an aircraft that will take.
Or you go to Lome.
Yeah.
Now there's a direct flight to Lome,
Askai,
and then Askai, and then come back to.
I want to believe.
Or go to Dakar. Direct.
Exactly. Direct.
I know that. I mean, Dakar. I mean, Abidjan there's a direct flight.
There could be,
and of course, possibly even before the tournament, there might be there might be a flight directly from Banjul to.
There could be considerations for fans going by land, since this is not too far. Johnny, it's all possible.
3 days?
Yeah, 3 days.
Yeah, to Ivory Coast.
To Ivory Coast. I mean, if it is possible. There are buses that leave
yes, because people live
I've
seen some people live in Nigeria to Senegal to attend the Gamos.
No, in fact, there's a regular thing from Bara to Agadez in Niger.
Yeah.
They're buses. I saw them. So that might be there are suggestions like that, but then of course funding. I mean, Musa, if you are to be at the center of the whatever committee is coming up now, and there are issues like that for funds. The last time there was a package for funds, we know. This time there might be the urge will be bigger because of the short distance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But what I was trying to say is that there might be a flight. The Ivory Coast might be flying from Banjul, to Abidjan directly. Before the tournament, that's highly likely. So we can also watch. I mean, it's good settle. Because I mean, either settled or chartered, either or. I mean, for the tournament. But you mentioned, I mean, logistics in traveling to Ivory Coast by road in time if it happens to be on the logistical committee's agenda in terms of who to travel, who to transport. It's a difficult one. I don't know. I don't think I'll be doing that.
But the committee might be doing that.
I'm saying that I don't think I'll be doing that. Traveling to.
People travel to.
Oh yes.
Guinea,
I said I don't think I'll be doing it. So that is me. And but yes, it's likely. But as I said, it's the committees will have to decide for the fans. I don't think the fans would mind because of the distance, because the fans were able to travel to Mali to support the national team, and Mali and Ivory Coast shares borders. So that wouldn't be a problem. But I mean, it's a tough one. But let's hope and see that it wouldn't be a problem. And in terms of the number, it just depends on the number that we want to take, because it's important to note this thing. Just like in Cameroon, of course, we took about 150 fans. I mean, fans, so-called fans. When you pitch those people in a ground, you don't even see them. You don't really realize them, especially when you're playing, like for example, playing against Cameroon or playing against which country? Tunisia in Cameroon. You're drowned. The fan it's not big.
Yeah.
So, but it's just symbolical to make sure that we at least have a representative or people. When you turn around, you can at least have when you score a goal, you have a group to run to. But if not, you are lost because you are not that much.
Yeah.
So how do we?
It has to do with finance and logistics. Because if you, I mean, the problem is the means. Yeah. The means is the. Is the most important is the means to get people there. That's what we should look for. And this time, we should look for a budget that is at least sizable. Yeah.
No.
The government has to realize that.
Yeah.
Football does not very well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
They are not financing everything.
Yeah.
Part of it is
done by the federation.
Yeah.
And then they should prepare a budget.
Yeah.
They should always ask for a budget.
Yeah. And the earlier the better.
I remember when our women team qualified for Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
I remember I said they asked me for a budget. And I gave her the full budget. And it was full for them.
Yeah.
And government should do that now, because they know our team now is one of the teams that is central. And each time you win, you see the minister will tweet. Each time you win,
President will congratulate.
Yeah, of course, you have to congratulate. Of course.
Fully committed now to make sure that we continue that level of enthusiasm.
So now, gentlemen, now that we have set a bar now, having qualified twice in a row means that we can never afford to miss AFCON now. That's how it is.
Oh, come on, Cham. Are you serious?
Of course. We can never afford whatever come, whether it's management or it's coaches or it's a new FA and even a new government, a new minister of sports should now know that the bar starts at AFCON. No, Gambia should never miss out on AFCON now.
And you know, there's a natural progression, and I mean, of course, it's fair to say, but being very pragmatic, because we have big countries missing AFCON. Senegal has missed AFCON quite a number of years.
But
Nigeria, all these
been
Egypt,
there,
and they've always been missing the AFCONs. And
Sierra Leone took them 25 years.
Ghana, for example, were the most dominant in the continent, and they've been missing. They didn't miss, they have been missing. You know, so yes, it's a natural progression. I was thinking that that after the AFCON we should now see how best we get to the World Cup.
Absolutely.
Which is a natural progression as we move on. Now our group is set for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Besides Ivory Coast,
Burundi,
we should be able to challenge Ivory Coast for the topmost spot, because there's only one country from the group. And a group comprising of Ivory Coast, Gabon, Kenya, Seychelles, Burundi. These 3 or 4 countries, we can say that okay, any given day we can beat them, but we have to play Ivory Coast. They're a big country, of course. Footballing, World Cup. I mean, participants. Here we are, and that's where we want to be. But this has to go with funds, preparations of the highest order, finance. I mean, everything has to be on the table.
Absolutely.
For motivation. This is what success breeds. When you talk about what our team has done, yes, because we've been successful, the demand, the expectations, are in the roof.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have to see. I mean, government is faced with right now, because you have three tournaments that our teams need to go to. And this is all that they need to fund everything.
Absolutely.
Even besides the World Cup, minus the World Cup qualifiers. Traveling in Africa is very, very expensive, unlike Europe. And the team has to go to all these 5 destinations.
Preparations.
And play to win. Come home, hopefully, November, the ground will not be ready, but moving forward,
up to 20,
we want to believe that, there might be games that would be played back home here for the fans to see.
That's very good.
Right, last words, gentlemen. Gambia going to the AFCON for the second time. Keba?
Yes, I would just start by saying that the most important thing now is, apart from the financial aspect and the other logistics, I think the technical aspect is very important. The coach now has to make a very effective and rational planning. Now against January, how to camp, how to identify the players, and to study the weakness of our players in our last matches and try to work on them. Not directly, even coaches can talk to each other in the football fraternity. You can call Coach X. My player is with you. I have seen him do this. Can you work on this for me? And you do the same, vice versa. Paul Pot has been doing it. He goes to the lab, to the football lab in Belgium, and look at every player in the group. He knows your psychological weakness, your technical weakness, and your temperamental, and he applies it. So I think this is one aspect of preparation, and that the players, we have to ensure that they are fully fit. We are lucky that we have got young players, and football now, what you need is speed, endurance, and stamina, and it's only young people that have all that combined. So let him try to make sure that he works on that, even when he's in the camp. Let him work on that, and let him look at our group, the team that we are playing against. What is their style of play, and then he would prepare our team in according to our opponents. He would look for another team that's not qualified who plays the same way and have test matches with them in and out, vice versa. By that way, you prepare the boys adequately so that they meet up with the challenges at the competition.
Good. Okay. Musa?
Yeah, I think of course this is what happens. This is why test matches will be held quite so before the AFCON. And of course, technically, if you're part of these setups, this is what the coaches will do when you have their tactical meetings. Teams are analyzed, players individual are analyzed. For everybody to look at, you have the video expert would go through all these things and on any given day. So I think coaching has moved up, our preparations have moved up, and of course the experts that we bring along, and of course the entire backroom staff are trying to do a fantastic job. Of course, you realize this thing when you are with them, which we are fortunate to be all the time in Cameroon. And it's a really, I mean, heartwarming moment for everyone associated with these things, because you can see that they meant so much, and of course the results. That is why sometimes some of these things, because it's something that you discuss, it's something that you talked about, and something you are prepared for. There are moments in the game which you when you're fun napping, or when you're, but if you listen to your coach and play according to plan, sometimes some of the things that we talk about we will not. But anyhow, I mean, this is football for you. There's always a third quarter, and I mean that's why some of us have opinions to express.
Join us next week when perhaps we'll expand on this, when probably the plans the government and the GFF has would come out. And then, of course, the draw is on the 12th October in Ivory Coast. We will then know which city and which teams we are going to meet. So you can follow us in the coming weeks for more in the debate as to Gambia's participation in AFCON 2023, but actually taking place in 2024 in January. That's a little over 100 days to come, so we should prepare. Thank you very much, Keba Masane Sise, former Gambian international goalkeeper and technical director of football. Musa Sise, the president of the Sports Journalists Association. We wish you all a happy weekend.
Thank you. I wish you the same as well.
Good.
We live in a day and age where technology is creating a world without borders, filled with unlimited potential to improve the lives of the people around us. Innovarex Global Health ushers in a new way of leveling the playing field with increased access to quality healthcare services delivered at your doorstep. Our qualified professionals are equipped with state-of-the-art point-of-care testing technology to conduct tests such as kidney function, liver function, electrolyte tests, body composition, hemoglobin, A1C, and many more services with the highest efficiency in delivering results. The addition to our flagship Wellness on Wheels, more fondly known as WOW Delivery Service, brings the entire clinical experience full circle. IGH has remained committed to creating the future of healthcare delivery. Gone are the days of sending loved ones outside the country for basic medical services. Innovarex Global Health offers a new peace of mind and takes pride in delivering the quality of care we all deserve.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.